Okay, let's make a melody. Um, I think I want to make something that sounds like anthemic, maybe something with like some brass instruments of some kind. Um, I need to stop recording these videos at like noon because there's a glare that's perfectly coming in, covering part of my screen right now. And it's like, okay, I'm liking this. Let me slow this down a little bit. Let's go to 1 point. Maybe a little bit faster. Let me change it really quickly first, and then maybe we'll come back and move it to where it was. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Move this one up. That ruined it. Okay, so let's find some sustained brass. Na 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 na. Ba, ba, ba. That's right. Okay, I might repeat this. Wah, wah. Okay, and maybe we can move this to where those other notes are. There, we can duplicate it. There we go. Ooh, what if we made it like a whole chord? I didn't mean to duplicate that. Let's just see what this sounds like. I think I like the idea of going like up in the second half. So it's like it's kind of coming down a little bit if you listen. So maybe this one can come up. There we go. And I'm still keeping it pretty simple because all of these are staying the same. Although this one was a C, so maybe I can change these as well. So this one, the same thing, but maybe move it down to where the D is. Okay, so right off the bat, this one has a lot more low end in it than this one does. I say a lot more. It's really not that much more. Especially, well, once I cut off some of it, it's going to be even less noticeable. But yeah, so this one has a little bit more like heft in the low end down here. A little bit more consistency here. So I'm going to separate this one, meaning I'm going to take this knob and pull it down until it's a little bit past 95. So 98 is fine. And what that does is it takes those frequencies and it pushes them out to the sides. And another way you can get a similar effect is if you come over here and you find one of these, go to the gain tab, and then go down to where it says spreader. If you turn it off, you can just see what it looks like. So here's what it looks like normally, and if you turn it on, you can then obviously spread the sound out to the sides if you want. You could also do what I was doing and separate it, which moves it to the sides even more exaggerated. So I don't know if I want it that exaggerated. Maybe we can go like, oh, I've already got it spread over here, 95%. So let's not do too much on this. So maybe just go 10%. And then maybe for the spread, we can go, I don't know, like 85, 86, somewhere in there. Okay, I want some effects on the higher brass. So maybe some chorus, some flanger, and I'll probably... Okay, I think I want to add some more depth to this, so I'm going to take these notes in the bottom here. I'm going to duplicate them and then drop them an octave, and then just lower the velocity by a lot so that I don't get too much low end. I just want to see if this adds a little bit more like depth to this sound. I could keep like a theme, like keep wind instruments basically, and like add a flute to it. That might be an idea. Or strings. I might do like string plucks. Basically just repeating this pattern over here and moving it so that the notes line up to where my ghost notes are, essentially. I think that's better. Okay, I'm hearing something high, I think maybe a flute, like I said earlier, something that just kind of does like a counter melody on top of everything. So maybe you can add that. So I might use these notes as like my bass line for my flute. Might do something like... we go. I think that sounds better. I was having a hard time finding the right like notes in this second half. I guess this kind of turned into more of an orchestral sounding melody than it did a anthemic one, but I guess they're kind of similar in a lot of ways. Okay, sorry, I was jamming out there for a second. I lost track of what I was doing. I'm gonna go through, I don't know why I've just saved that. I'm gonna go through and randomize all the timings for the things that I want to be, a little bit more real sounding. And then I'll also pan some of the lower notes on the downbeats. Sorry, I can't talk. Um, and I'll probably pan those notes like opposite each other for some of the lower instruments to make them easier to, distinguish and that sort of thing. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm panning some of the downbeat notes that are lower. So I look at these, you know, chords that I've got and I take the lower ones, so the lowest frequency notes, and then I'm going to pan them either left or right. So I'll just kind of go back and forth. So let's go this way, then that way, then I'll flip it. So I'll start that way and then go the opposite direction. And then when I go to do the same thing for a different instrument, and I might even do a couple more just for fun, so things are moving back and forth a little bit. When I go to, let's say, the cello, for example, these lower notes, I'm going to do something similar, except I'm going to pan them the opposite direction. And what this does is a couple of things. It makes those lower frequencies easier to like distinguish from one another because they're being played in different like places, different different areas. But also it helps move lower frequencies out to the sides so that later on kicks and 808s that are in mono are easier to hear. Okay, so I finished randomizing the timings and the velocities, and I also went through and panned a lot of the downbeat notes that are lower in frequency. So now I'm going to save these. So Control C, just click on one of these, Control V, and it will paste them all. I don't know if everybody knows that. I didn't used to know that. I think I saw somebody do it in a video one time, and I was like, wait, you don't have to do each one like individually. You can just copy and paste all of them at once. And ever since I learned that, I was like, oh, that's nice. I could have saved myself a little bit of time. So now that I've saved them, I am going to consolidate like each layer individually. So I'll be right back after I do that. Okay, so let's listen back to it. Like I said earlier, I set out to make something kind of anthemic, and it kind of ended up sounding more orchestral. But again, those can kind of sound similar in some ways. So, but anyway, let's enjoy it and listen back.